Welcome everybody. Today we have Sonja on that will give us some very informative training. So Sonja, when you're ready, you can go for it.
Good morning, everybody. I never say no for training, as that's my sole purpose as living as a teacher, teaching since 1990. That's my main core, that's my heartbeat that keeps me going. So hence the reason I joined Organo and wanting to make a difference with our products, with what we do daily, and sharing the opportunity more and more every day. That's what I want to do, because the longer I'm in it, I see the benefits around me for everybody already knowing what Organo can do, and I just want to spread it and stand on a mountaintop and share it with everybody. So today's topic is, are you geared for your business? We have just started a brand new month. I want you to think of back when you started. Everybody on the call has been in the business for a different period. I want you to think of today's training as a little seed. Way back when you said yes, somebody came and somebody sowed that seed. Somebody offered the opportunity or the product to you, which made you think, this can change my life, this can maybe help me. At that stage, you didn't know maybe a lot. You were maybe just giving it a try. And as you progress on this journey, as Wendy always says, this is a journey. Don't forget to enjoy the journey. Things changed within you. Your core reason maybe changed, why you initially joined. And the main thing is that you realize that you have to have a plan of action. We hear that every single day. Nobody trains that doesn't say, if you want to get somewhere, you must have that plan of action. So the reason for my topic, are you geared? Thinking, relating it with a little seed. That seed was planted. We all know when we were at school, you get that little bean and we put it in the cotton wool and we water it. And the first thing you did as a child, you ran to the windowsill to see, is the bean still looking the same? Is there any growth? Did something happen overnight with the bean? So I want you to go back to your childhood and think of your OG journey, relating it with that little bean, because that little bean, inside that little bean, there was life. And when you started your journey, I'm sure you were very, very ignited. You were full of life. You wanted to tell everybody, you wanted to share, and maybe life happened in between. We all have schedules and times are demanding, which just took you off your par a bit. And you may have forgot what's that little flame in you that's igniting you, why you initially said yes, why you initially started the business. And as I said in my previous trainings, that's okay. All of us derail somewhere. We're not on a high every day. There's no human being on earth that's on a high every day. But it's always when you are on a detour, the way you bounce back. We all have it in us. And my main thing is I constantly watch everybody in the business that's reached something somewhere, started like when we started, with little knowledge, maybe being anxious, maybe feeling overwhelmed. We all handle things differently. But my main thing is, I think we all started right there. What's important is to take the opportunity and this whole journey and have your stepping stones. Turn your obstacles and your stumbling blocks that want to detour and derail you, turn them into stepping stones. So what do I need to gear my business? First of all, every day we hear about mindset. So the first thing is that you learn a skill. What we do in network marketing is totally teachable. You don't have to go to university to study it. You don't have to have any specific thing in you when you start. You must just have the hunger. You must have the urge. You must have the I want to make this work for me, first of all. I want to make this work for the business, for myself, And if you feel confident within yourself, you will eventually start sharing. We don't all reach that stage in the same time span. Some people just start off and run. Some people first just say, leave me, I want to drink the product, I want to just experience it. We're all different. So that's also very important to remember. But when you start, even being unsure, start with the end in mind. Think, where do I want to be? Where am I heading? What's my plan of action? How am I going to use these stumble blocks that we all have? I said in my previous training when I did for balanced leaders, we all have the same challenges. If you're on a different level in the business, we all face the same obstacles every day. We all need to get new customers constantly. We all growing our business. So it's not, the journey is not different. The challenges might be different. And the main thing for me is, because we are all different and on different places in our journey, work with what you have. Don't trip over, oh, but I'm not good with this, or I don't have that. That's what's holding you back from being geared for success, is looking at what I don't have instead of, wow, I actually have something to start from. I actually have support. I actually receive every morning things that help me to get going, to get geared. Every morning we receive material to get going. We just need to make use of that and stay plugged in. So start with the end in mind. Think the bigger picture. I might be starting now, I might be new, I might be a month in the business, I might be a few months in the business, but think bigger. Where am I heading? What is the, that was so lovely of the roadshow, listening to our CEO. It was so amazing when he actually just painted this picture. And who doesn't want to be part of a successful company that has proven themselves over 15 years? They're going nowhere instead of forward and upward and onward, because they've proved themselves. Who doesn't want to be associated with a company with a product that's available right across the globe? It's a good product. Why be shy to share? Because it's global. We can sign anybody, any place of the world in the world. You can sell to anybody, any place in the world. Make it work for you. Work with what you have, and take advice from those who have achieved goals higher than you, and feel free to ask. I think that's a main stumbling block. People think, I don't want to ask this specific person a certain question, because just now they think you should have known that. That holds you back. There's no, I always teach my students as well, there's no such thing as a stupid question. That's the way we learn. There's nothing wrong to make a mistake, because that's the way we learn. Mistakes is proof that you've tried. So think it's all about the mindset. Think the right way around. Be a good listener. That makes you geared by asking more questions. Listen, absorb. I'm a teacher, so I speak a lot, and that's a skill that I have to work on myself daily, is to listen more. And because I'm ADHD, I tend to want to answer quickly because I'm afraid I might forget. So being a good listener, you can actually hear, and the more questions you ask, you can actually find the people don't say immediately. So the more questions you ask, you actually get to the root of the problem. You actually get to the root why they want to join, and why they would like to use the product, because something caught their eye when they make contact with you. Either something you said or something you mentioned in your post. That is why they want to join or want to try it. So use your time wisely. Every day, like we are now already on day 6 of July. So it's all about planning. Ask yourself, what have I achieved in this past 6 days in my business? Don't leave it for the last week of the month and then you want to show up and do all the things that you have to do. Because if you start on day 1 and you realize I have 31 days to pace myself, I have 31 days to make this work for me, to excel, to move forward. Then you'll never feel overwhelmed. Take it day by day, but do a retrospect tomorrow and say, right, 7 days have passed of July. What have I achieved? Have I made a sale? If I hadn't made a sale yet, have I introduced new customers? Because remember, Cornell trained us with a triangle, and our CEO mentioned it at the roadshow as well. You have to mingle all the time with new people. You have to meet new people all the time to get to the right people. So after a year and a half in my business, while I was showering this morning, I was thinking now about the training. And I was thinking back the year and a half past, and I was thinking, I must be doing things right after a year and a half, because now I only manage after a year and a half to have teamies that have been staying in my team with me for a year and longer. In the beginning, there was people moving in, signing up, people stopping, quitting because they have a choice for different reasons. But now I have learned over a year and a half that it's important, once you sign that person, is to walk with them. So I don't just train my people I send my link to. I train my entire team, the people they sign, the people they sign. I train all those people because, eventually it's this one big network. So if I just look after my own personal downline, and they are new in the business, and they don't know properly how to look after the people they sign, we are all one big team. So it's not just about me and my downline. And if I help them and I equip them and I guide them to be strong, to stand on their own feet, and I do the same with their people, and then they teach their people that way, that's the way how you win and make your team strong. That they teach their people what you teach your people, but still investing time in the people they sign also, because that's what makes the success for me now. Thinking of yes, I'll get to that, Carmen. How do you train them? I'll get to that just now. I promised myself just a half an hour today. You can also check in with me after the call, and I will tell you what have worked for me over the past year and a half. But this morning was like lights coming on. I think I've reached the stage in my business now where I found out what's working for me. It takes quite a while to get there. Because in the beginning you intend to think, why are people leaving? Am I failing? Am I letting these people down? Why are they leaving? But my winning recipe is to guide my people and take care of my entire team, not just my downline. At this stage, I have about almost 40 in my team, not all active, but there's about more than 20, 24, 26 working constantly every month. And it is about guidance, checking in when they get quiet, and also keeping the focus on your own business, leading by example. Right, so also take time during the day to watch videos, and take time during the day to build your own knowledge. By watching videos of successful people. There's such a lot on TikTok, and it comes in your feed and all over if you start YouTubing. That's what keeps me strong, that I have energy and the want to build my team every day. As I look at videos and I'm like hungry to find what can I give to my team today, to make them feel they are on a better place, is by building my own knowledge, and spending at least an hour and a half every day, minimum an hour a day, by watching successful people, looking for more tips. How can I make my team stronger? Because it's a win-win situation. If they're successful, I'm successful, we're successful. You're just as strong as your weakest link in your team. Right, so success is hidden in your daily routine. Start by, they always say your success is hidden in your daily routine. Start by making your bed. If you want to change the world, be the example and be what you want to see in the world. Right. So the main thing about network marketing is growing your brand and growing it online. So first of all is by starting a network, introducing to lots of people till you find the right group of people that are willing to stick with you. And you don't always know when you sign people, but you start attracting the right people if you do the right things. And if you get the right message across, you do start attracting the right people. They will come eventually and come and look for you. At this stage, after a year and a half, I also changed my mindset. I don't beg anybody to be part of this opportunity. I tell them and I show them what works for me and what the opportunity can do for them. What I also learned about recruiting is that my husband always taught me less is more. Sometimes we make these long posts and we say too much and people don't learn. We're living in a rushed world. And in the week, somebody asked 2 days ago, actually, on a group, she's looking for something to do on the side to fill her income. So I just popped my number and I said, feel free to send me a WhatsApp. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I received 6 inquiries. Within the next morning, I woke up with 4 leads to follow just from saying that. Somebody asking in a group how they can earn an income. So sometimes we make these flashy posts and we chat a lot and it's a lot of reading. People don't read. I see it on my downline when I communicate. I put something there and people are in a hurry. They're rushing off for an appointment. So they don't read the 3 sentences I put there. They only read the first one and then they reply on that. So that's what they do with our posts as well. If you put a lot of information in your posts. So grow your brand online. Grow your brand online, not by just sharing testimonials. Not always by just sharing organo content. Because remember, when you start the opportunity, people are getting to know you. People are buying into you. So make sure when you show up to not just post organo. Because people are getting to know you better. And that's also how you grow your brand. Share your own story. In a year and a half, I see with all my teamies that are successful and reaching their stars every month, they share their own story. It's what the product does for you, why you decided to join the business. That's your best-selling story. If you don't have a story yet, just share somebody else's story that have a story already. Also, very important is to have an accountability partner, have a bumper buddy, somebody that keeps you accountable and that you check in every day. It's always nice to do the opportunity with somebody where you check in daily. Find somebody in the business that you can do that with. Good habits eventually will keep you growing. It's the same like following a lifestyle or an exercise program. If you have healthy habits, good habits, that's what will keep you growing. Successful people do what other people ain't willing to do. That's the bottom line. It takes effort. If you're long enough in the opportunity, you will realize it's not luck that brings you where you are. You have to work daily. You actually have to work hard. And that I also find, that's what I mentioned earlier, you start attracting the right people later on in the opportunity, because you quickly can sort of distinguish if the moment people hear they have to put in a little bit of effort, they have to work a bit, then they ghost you. Then you know, okay, I don't want to work with somebody like that, because then it's maybe good that they rather cool off now, because I want somebody that's like-minded, somebody that wants to in it for the long haul. But you have to introduce to lots of people to get to that point where you get the right people that want to walk with you. So if you're successful, you also don't like doing the things like getting out of your comfort zone. In the beginning, nobody likes to do that. Even successful people didn't like doing that. But it's just once you start taking that step and you do it once, it becomes easy, it becomes a habit, it becomes a daily routine. You don't have to think, It's automatically. Now, after a year and a half, I've got my routine, what works for me. And if something happens and I detour during the day, I make sure to catch up later, because otherwise later in the month, that's going to catch up on me and on my business if I don't catch up later. So it's all about having a plan of action. So currently ask yourself now, as you're sitting on this call, in what gear are you running your business currently? When you started, as I said, you were ignited. Nobody had to come and make you excited because it was something new. It was a challenge. Nobody had to come and make you excited about it. So in what gear are you now? As you progress, are you in parking mode? Are you in idling mode? Think of an aeroplane. If it wants to lift that huge, massive aeroplane into the air, it has to excel, it has to be on top speed, and then it starts going up from the ground level. So in what gear are you currently? Input versus output. You can't expect the end of the month to turn around and say, I had a successful month, I had a good month, but I didn't put in the work. Input versus output. What you put in, you get out. The amount of time you invest, your pay will reflect it. The amount of effort you make, your pay will reflect it. So if you're not happy with what you are earning currently, if you're not happy with your sales currently, we are living in tough times. People are really feeling the pinch. But think out of the box. If you're battling to sell boxes, just divert back to your trial packs. Because in tough times, you definitely just focus then on your trial pack, because who won't be willing to buy 2 sachets or 1 sachet to try it out first? Because people are still dubious, you know. People will still think, just now I waste my money, and just now I won't get the results that she's getting from this product. I introduced Nobody's Spared. Yesterday I went for a pedicure, and they know I drink Organo because one of our teamies that immigrated worked at that salon. So they all know about the product. And then I said to her, she asked me out of her own. I've been going there for about 8-9 months. And I take my Supreme. They know already. They make my Supreme for me while they do my pamper session. So Organo is a known brand in their salon. And yesterday, for the first time after 9 months, the lady that always does my treatment, asked me, so this coffee of yours, I'm watching your status updates. Is it safe for pregnancy? Is it safe for breastfeeding? And then she started asking me, and she said, maybe I must also sign up. This is maybe a good thing for me, seeing that I want to go overseas and planning to go overseas. So it takes time. We must just be patient. And me being there, drinking my product, them knowing the product, had somebody working there with the product. Don't forget about salons. It's your it's your ideal place, because people come there for a pamper. Those people that go to salons are serious about their health, are serious about the way they look. They want to be healthy. They want to feel healthy. Your hair salon, where you go for your nails, those are the places where you will sell easily. And as I said, it took 9 months before the girl that treats my feet every time and does the pedicure actually asked me about the product. You must know who you are. Then you won't fall for everything and anything. It's important to set the standard in your team. It's important to set the standard in your business by not just falling for everything. And people lead by example, and your team will follow. And that's the main thing. I can't go to one of my downline if I don't set the example. I need to do it myself first, and they will follow. Nobody wants to join a flip-flopping partner. You will attract like-minded people. As I say, it takes time to get there. Be patient with yourself. Work on yourself also daily and constantly. This is a journey. So you must also grow, and you must also constantly evaluate yourself. How far have I come? How far do I need to go? As I said, think of yourself as a seedling. A seedling also goes through seasons. Your business goes through seasons. Usually when you reach like last month, we were like, phew, sales went like dipping like a falling from the sky. So we must go in that curve of going up. And July feels, I want to say it's feeling as if it's going better already. So I think July is going to be a better month, especially with the variety pack back. I'm very excited about that. Just take action and do what needs to be done. That's the bottom line. All of us on the call know what we need to do. It's just to go out and do it. You know what you need to do. You know what you're doing wrong as well. So don't wait for somebody to come and peep over your shoulder and tell you, oops, remember, you must do this and that, because you know you must do it. So you make the choice today on this call. You're either going to take the risk and find out what you are capable of, or am I happy to stay and reflect back over a few months and see, oops, I'm still exactly where I was. I haven't progressed. I'm like a rocking chair. I'm moving constantly, but I'm only moving on the same spot. I haven't moved. So decide for yourself. Are you wanting to grow? Are you wanting to step up for yourself, first of all? Because if you step up for yourself, you step up for your business. And take that action. The clock is ticking. As I said, the first week is gone. If we didn't work in the first week, learn from it and move on and work double as hard in the coming week, because soon we'll be halfway through the month. And I think that is most of us struggle when life happens, is to bounce back and get back into that good routine where we were successful, where things were working for us. And it really gets tougher with price increases all around. Everybody's feeling the pinch. But I can tell you, I have clients that I know, they value the product. Come hell, come high water, they won't go without their organo because they need it for their health. So it's all about financial planning also. And what's the way I am presenting the product? Are you telling your customers when it's a bad month and they can't afford a box? Are you telling them you can buy a few sachets from me until you recover from your financial situation? Because sometimes people just don't think about it. They would say, if you follow up with your regulars, you know, I have a challenging month. My kids are going on school camps and school tours and this and that and the other. And they might just forget that you advertised a week or two. Do you post weekly about the trial packs? That you remind your customers if I have a bad month, because they will come back for a box again when they recover, because they already experienced the product. Right, so today I want you to ignite that flame. That's our theme for the year, ignite that flame. We are on 30 minutes. I must start finishing off. So I want you to stop extinguishing the flame in yourself, because we are, this morning I listened to Uncle Angus again, we as human beings are our own worst enemy. You are capable. You can, if you tell yourself you can. The sky is the limit. And don't hold yourself back. Don't be the fire extinguisher in yourself. As I say, get that accountability partner, get that person that can keep you accountable. And if you have a bad day, that person can help you to just get back on track again. I think that's, we as females are very good at that, as to help one another and to uplift one another. So fan that flame with all the fuel you can possibly find. I hope you have an absolutely amazing July. And remember, input versus output. If you haven't worked this first week, put the double effort in, because after next week, we're halfway into July again. And you can't show up the last week of the month and then accept and expect that your business must just boom. So yeah, put in the effort. It's really worthwhile. What you put in, you will get out. I hope you have a most blessed time, and say to yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I will be successful. Have an awesome July. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.